So, of the hundreds of pediatric hospitals across North America, there's this opportunity to engage the young patients that are there to empower them, improve their lives, and there is one hospital in St. Louis that is doing just that. That is using the power of golf to change lives. We're going to learn about that today on the Mod Golf YouTube channel. So today my guest is PGA golf professional Kevin Korn, who does impactful work at the Ranken Jordan Pediatric Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri. Kevin and I just finished up a long form audio podcast that I'll have the link down below there. It's such a great conversation that I encourage you after this to go back and give that a listen, because today we're going to mix it up and we're going to have a slightly different conversation here as compared to the first one that we had. But first of all, let me bring Kevin on there. Kevin, great to see you again, and thanks for joining me on the Mod Golf YouTube channel.
Great to see you, Colin. Look forward to talking to you.
Yeah. So okay, so we're not going to completely redo what we talked about here, because you shared such impactful stories of the lives that you're changing there. But for everybody that's watching, why don't you give us an overview of the work that you are doing in St. Louis, Missouri, with these young people that are in need of what you're doing every Wednesday?
So about 12 and a half or so years ago, I saw an article in PGA magazine about a program at Texas Scottish Rite uh, Hospital for Children in Dallas, Fort Worth, and reached out to Dana Dempsey, who runs that program there, and spoke with her and thought, we need to do that here in St. Louis. We've got incredible pediatric healthcare here. So I got with a member who was a doctor. He was the club that I worked at the time, and said, which hospital should I go to? Of the five, which one's the best? He told me all about Ranken Jordan. His wife worked there at the time. They set up a meeting for me with Janine Rowe, who was the community programs director at the time at Ranken Jordan. And 2 minutes into our meeting, it turned into a planning process for getting a program launched there. So since May 10, 2011, every Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock, the kids have had a standing tee time, and we go in and teach the medically complex children there how they can play golf.
I love this. A standing tee time. That's so good. And 12 years in, and your energy is just infectious. It sounds like that is by far your favorite day of the week. Would that be fair to say?
No question about it.
Nice. So I'm curious to hear everybody's backstory and what motivates them, the people that have touched your lives, the experiences that you've had that's culminated into 11 years ago, 12 years ago, to put that out there and make that leap, to want to make this happen. So tell us a bit about that, the kind of the experiences, whether it's previous jobs or experiences and people that have influenced your life in a positive way, that have kind of shaped you to be motivated to do the impactful work that you do.
It just came more from my upbringing. My parents, my mom was very involved in charitable work, and she and dad were in education. Dad taught. Mom was the board of education secretary. So working with children just seemed to be a natural fit. And when I saw the article and the idea popped into my head that we should do it here, it was the right thing to do. I can teach people how to hit golf balls. I know what it takes to get a golf ball going in certain directions. So why not go into a pediatric hospital and do that there and use the game, as a healing tool, along with introducing children who haven't had the opportunity to swing a golf club to the game.
So, Kevin, I wanted to ask you this. Of the young people that are in the pediatric hospital, some of them, because of their physical challenges, will not be able to, let's say, improve enough to get on a full golf course. But share some stories of the children that have improved physically over time and they've left the pediatric facility. Have any of them reached out to you afterwards because they had such a positive experience that they want to engage with you and be part of that? I'm sure there's some stories there.
Oh, there's hundreds of stories like that. Uh, Over the years, we've had so many children come through the program, and a lot have stayed in touch afterwards. We've had children that picked up a club for the first time laying in their hospital bed that went on to play for their high school golf teams.
Wow.
We've had kids that were diagnosed as quadriplegics that walked out of Ranken Jordan that are playing 18 holes relatively frequently now. Uh, got one boy that's Cooper Burks, who I think he's had 33 or 34 surgeries on his legs and feet. He's 19 now. He plays at least 9 holes once a week, as weather allows him to do it. Um, it's been amazing to see the kids that have continued to play in the traditional sense. But the great thing with golf is that it doesn't have to be the traditional 9 or 18 holes. And there's been just as many children that have continued just going to a driving range, or just chipping and putting around their yards, or their living room, or whatever it may be. So they're still getting to enjoy the game and still be active and involved in the sport, whether it's just on the range or at home, or they're playing, full rounds of golf.
Oh, I love the fact there's that legacy that you've introduced into the game, and now a lot of them are making it something that they do for life, which is the beautiful thing of the game, and why it's such one of the in Canada it is the by far the most recreationally played sports. Everybody would think it would be hockey, but it's not, because you don't age out as compared to basketball or hockey or other sports. So that's a beautiful thing that you've gifted them. But speaking of gifts, I'm sure you feel that this has been a gift to you of just seeing the smiles on these kids' faces and the gratitude that the families have. But speaking of gratitude, who do you feel gratitude towards as far as the partners, other people that have helped make this happen for you? Because you can't do it all alone. So yeah, who do you express gratitude towards that help bring this together to make all the good things that you have the opportunity to be part of to make that happen?
Yeah, I'm the fortunate one that I get to go there and spend the time with the kids every week, and a lot of times more than once a week. But it wouldn't happen. You're right. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, or in partnership, not necessarily behind the scenes, just in partnership, uh, to make it happen every week. And Ranken Jordan, the folks there believed in it from day one. They've been just incredibly wonderful partners through the whole thing. Uh, when I called Josh Riley, who is our executive director for the Gateway section, after that first meeting at the hospital, it's only what I wanted to do. Josh and our section couldn't be any more supportive, and has continued on now with Allie Wells, who's our current executive director. Uh, U.S. kids, they make the best junior golf products in the country, or in the world, just in the golf business. And John Bryan and everybody there have been anything I asked for. They can't get it to us fast enough. And then my boss and employer, I'm the head golf professional at Innsbrook Resort here in St. Louis, or near St. Louis, for about 45 minutes west of downtown. But they give me the opportunity to go every week and have that set day off, so that I can get to the hospital every day, or every week. And without that support, it wouldn't be possible to get there as regularly as what I do.
Right, right. Now you and I connected on LinkedIn because almost every week when you go there, you post the impact and the smiles on the faces of these kids making contact with a golf ball, sometimes for the first time. So I know you've got hundreds, if not thousands, of stories, but share one or two. And I saw last week's post on LinkedIn was with, I believe, Anna, Joe, and Jimmy. So whether it's talking about them or some of the other kids that you shot some video and some imagery that we can put up here while you talk to that. So yeah, share some stories that have put a smile on your face, which I'm sure all of them put a smile on your face, but perhaps give us one or two examples that stand out for you in recent memory.
So many of the stories at Rankin involve the children getting better from a health standpoint, and how golf has allowed that to happen. I've watched kids take their first steps up to the mat to hit golf balls. I've watched them stand for the first time after having both legs amputated and getting fit for prosthetics. Uh, but of the recent ones here, with the three just mentioned, Anna is the things that she's able to do with the golf ball. I've seen a few kids do it, and we've taught some of the kids to do it as well. But Anna does it and thinks nothing of it.
Hmm.
For the longest time, she was coming to golf laying face down on her gurney, and so you normally you'd think, well, a kid laying face down on the gurney can't hit golf balls, right? Nah, she'll hit them for an hour at a time and only stops because she's got to go to therapy. But we also showed her how with the almost golf balls that we use, they're much lighter weight than regular golf balls, so she can actually roll them up to tee on her own, and she'll tee the golf balls up on her own and hit them with an IV on her arm and laying face down on a gurney. Yeah, it's you see those types of things, and I see it weekly, and I'm amazed every time I go that this is happening.
Wow. So not to swing a golf club, but everything else you have surrounded with the experience, it just empowers them. It just gives them the confidence. So I'm sure they've had all their lives of whether explicitly told what you cannot do and you're not capable of doing, rather than just the physical act of they are doing them themselves to build confidence. That must have a tremendous impact on their lives moving forward. I'm sure you've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, it's a profound effect on them, and like I
Mm.
said, all, almost all these kids have always been told they can't do something. There's others there that because of accidents that they've had that's why they're at Ranken Jordan. They're told now moving forward you can't do something. That's not really an option at Ranken Jordan, and it's certainly not an option in the golf program. If a kid wants to be there, they're going to hit golf balls. It may take me a minute to figure out how we're going to get them to hit golf balls, but they're going to hit golf balls, and we'll make sure that they have smiles on their faces and they're enjoying their time, and they get that opportunity to simply be kids and interact with the other children that are there. And I absolutely love it with Joe and Jimmy, the other two you just mentioned. I kind of like to stir the pot at times, and if I'm playing golf, there's certainly to be a little bit of trash talking going on. So when we get Joe and Jimmy there, we'll get them close enough, and every once in a while I'll make a little comment and get the two of them trash talking back and forth at each other, and it's just it's so rewarding and so powerful to sit there and you've got one child who's in a wheelchair and another one's in a hospital bed hitting golf balls and talking smack back and forth to each other, and it just you sit back and smile. You look at it's this game that drives a lot of us crazy, that's doing so much good for these kids and allowing them to simply be kids for however long they're hitting golf balls.
Wow. Wow. Love this. So as we finish up, this has the ability to scale to every pediatric hospital across the country, but it sounds like you are one of the few that's doing this. So here's your chance, the call to action. People that are watching the golf industry, maybe connected to medical services and pediatric hospitals. What is that next step for them to get involved? Because my understanding here is there's kind of low stakes as far as not a lot of equipment, not a lot of cost, doesn't take a lot of room, able to get in and out very quickly. So in your perfect world, I'm sure you'd love to see your program in every single pediatric hospital around the country. What are the first steps? What's the low hanging fruit of how we can get there?
Yeah, that it's really simple. Just start it. Just do it. Um, yeah, that's what I when I started at Rankin Jordan, I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just knew that I wanted to do it. I knew that we could use golf to help kids, and like I said earlier, it was the right thing to do. So I wanted to start it and get it going. Um, the U.S. kids clubs are wonderful to use. They're inexpensive. Um, yeah, it we just leave the equipment there, so the kids always have it available if they want to continue to play. People can reach out to me. They can reach out to Dana at Texas Scottish Rites. They can reach out to the National Alliance for Accessible Golf. There's resources out there to get programs going. If people are worried about the space requirements, we've hit golf balls in hospital rooms. We've hit them in hallways. We've got the indoor playgrounds, the outdoor field where Ranken Jordan National Golf Links is. So there's I nobody can tell me we don't have room. There's room there. That's probably the biggest adaptation we've made throughout the entire program is simply finding a spot that we can go to hit golf balls. But there's always a spot. It's going to take some creativity every once in a while, but there's always room to hit golf balls. So I would encourage people to just find the closest facility, whether it's healthcare administrators reaching out to golf professionals wanting to do it or golf pros wanting to get it going. Just get it started. There's not. We've been doing this for just over 12 and a half years at Ranken Jordan, and there's not one day that I have left there not feeling like the kids did more for me than I did for them.
Right.
And it just that's how it is, and I don't see that ever being any different. It's the best day of the week, and if I'd hit the Powerball last week, I'd be doing it 7 days a week.
Nice. Well, I know on the Mod Golf YouTube channel, we do have a lot of golf professionals that I know personally and also love the content we produce. So those that are out there, sprinkled all over North America, if you want to reach out to Kevin, I will include in the description down below his contact information and also the contact information, which why don't you share with us right now, Kevin, also where they can learn more about the work that you're doing, perhaps also see more visuals and video on top of what we've also included in this video here.
Yeah, my blog has plenty of stories, a lot of videos and pictures. That's rankenjordangolf.blogspot.com. Ranken Jordan also has a YouTube channel. It's got plenty of videos from the program there. Follow me on Twitter. There's stuff up there. I know it's not just golf. I also complain about the designated hitter too, but I try to put most of it up there about golf and keep it that way. But there's some other random things thrown in on Twitter. But those would be the best ones. My blog and LinkedIn are probably the two that have the most content.
Nice. Well, when we get together again for a follow-up podcast, we can talk about baseball all you want because I'm a big baseball guy too, even though it is mod golf. But we'll expand that into mod sport perhaps, just for make the exception for you next time, Kevin. Well, Kevin Korn, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been, like I said, this and the podcast, really impactful stuff. The work that you're doing and the difference that you're making in people's lives is wonderful. And I know you're not going to stop, so please keep going. And as I said, the way that this can scale and be replicated, Kevin can't clone himself or create a time machine. So other PGA professionals out there that are inspired by this, please reach out and see if you can then create in your community with your local pediatric hospital to learn what Kevin, as we say, you nailed it, and now we can scale it. But you can't do that alone. It's takes the others that will end up having the same joy and smile at the end of the day every Wednesday that you have. So, Kevin Korn, thanks for joining me on the Mod Golf YouTube channel today.
Thank you very much, Colin. It's been an honor. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking with you.